It begins with a child's sob, a sound that cuts through the carefully curated silence of a life built on success. She stole the original video. The accusation, sharp and unexpected, hangs in the air, a poisoned dart finding its mark. It's a moment that unravels the carefully woven tapestry of a millionaire's world, a world already straining under the weight of unspoken anxieties and simmering scandals. The words, seemingly simple, carry the force of a wrecking ball, threatening to demolish everything he has painstakingly constructed. He feels the blood drain from his face, a cold wave washing over him. The room, usually a sanctuary of power and control, suddenly feels like a trap. The child's tear-streaked face reflects a truth he has desperately tried to ignore. The foundations of his empire are built on shifting sands. The accusation isn't just about a video. It's about integrity, trust, and the ethical compromises he's made along the way. It's a mirror reflecting back a distorted image of the man he thought he was. Driven by a primal instinct to protect what's his, he retreats to his office, his sanctuary turned battleground. The hum of the computer is a constant, a reminder of the digital world where fortunes are made and lost, where reputations are forged and shattered. He stares at the screen, the digital vault looming before him, holding the key to his salvation or his utter ruin. Every file, every folder represents a decision, a risk, a carefully calculated move. His hand trembles as he reaches for the flash drive, a small, unassuming object that holds the weight of his future. It's his last hope, a digital lifeline in a sea of uncertainty. He plugs it in, the click echoing in the silent room like a death knell. The files appear, a chaotic jumble of data, each one a potential landmine. He starts the search, his heart pounding in his chest, a frantic rhythm against the backdrop of his carefully controlled world. As he delves deeper into the digital labyrinth, the truth begins to emerge, a slow, agonizing revelation. It's more dangerous than he imagined, a web of betrayal and deception that extends far beyond his opulent office. Every click, every file scrutinized, propels him closer to a conspiracy that threatens to engulf everything he holds dear. He sees the faces of those he trusted, their smiles now appearing sinister, their motives suspect. The meticulously constructed empire, built on ambition and calculated risk, begins to crumble before his eyes. He realizes that he has been a pawn in a much larger game, a game with stakes he never fully understood. The child's accusation was just the first domino in a chain reaction, a catalyst for a truth that was always lurking beneath the surface. He is now faced with a critical choice, one that could salvage his reputation or condemn him to oblivion. Against the backdrop of mounting pressure and looming threats, he embarks on a relentless quest to uncover the full extent of the conspiracy and reclaim what was stolen. Time is running out, each second ticking away like a countdown to disaster. He knows that the truth hides within the stolen video, waiting to be exposed, but finding it will require him to confront his own demons and make sacrifices he never thought possible. He must shield the innocent from the fallout, even if it means sacrificing everything he has built. The weight of the world rests on his shoulders, the fate of his empire, his reputation, and the well-being of others hanging in the balance. He is no longer just a millionaire. He is a man fighting for his survival, a man driven by a desperate need to protect those he cares about. The clock is ticking, and the truth, like a venomous serpent, lies coiled within the stolen video, ready to strike. He must find it before it's too late. The digital trail, thus far a frantic scramble, now demands a shift in strategy. He understands that reactive searching won't suffice. A methodical deconstruction of the video's origins and distribution is imperative. He has to think like his adversary, anticipating their moves, deciphering their motives. This requires more than technical skill. It demands an understanding of human psychology, the very weaknesses that his past successes often exploited. Delving into the metadata of the video files, he unearths a series of obfuscated timestamps and altered creation dates. These inconsistencies, while seemingly minor, point to a deliberate attempt to conceal the video's true provenance. It's like peeling back layers of an onion, each revelation bringing him closer to the core, but also intensifying the sting. He realizes that he's not just dealing with a simple theft. He's confronting a sophisticated operation designed to inflict maximum damage. Beyond the technical analysis, he initiates a discreet investigation into the individuals who had access to the original footage. He employs trusted, yet unseen, associates, individuals with a knack for uncovering hidden truths. This isn't about brute force. It's about subtle inquiries, carefully placed questions, and the art of observing human behavior. He knows that the key to unlocking the conspiracy lies in the subtle nuances of human interaction, the unspoken words, and the fleeting glances that betray hidden agendas. As the investigation progresses, a pattern begins to emerge. A series of seemingly unrelated events, when viewed through the lens of the stolen video, reveal a deliberate orchestration of circumstances. It's as if someone has been meticulously manipulating events to create the perfect storm, with him as the intended target. He feels a growing sense of unease, a realization that he's not just fighting to protect his reputation. He's fighting for his very survival. Consider, for instance, the seemingly innocuous meeting with a former business partner weeks before. The incident. At the time, it appeared to be a friendly exchange of ideas, a nostalgic trip down memory lane. However, in retrospect, he recognizes subtle cues, veiled threats masked as casual conversation. It dawns on him that this meeting was likely a reconnaissance mission, an attempt to gauge his vulnerabilities and assess his defenses. Building on this, however, he recognizes the imperative need to discern friend from foe. The lines are blurred, trust is eroded, and paranoia threatens to consume him. He must rely on his instincts, his ability to read people, and his unwavering commitment to uncover the truth, no matter the cost. The stakes are higher than ever, and the path ahead is fraught with peril. The stolen video is no longer just a threat. It's a catalyst for a reckoning, a moment of truth that will define his legacy. He shifts the focal point from reactive defense to proactive counterintelligence, realizing the digital realm is both battleground and smokescreen. His adversary, adept in masking their digital footprint, likely underestimated the power of analog connections. Thus, he pivots, initiating a parallel investigation into the physical world surrounding the video's creation and dissemination. A crucial aspect is uncovering the why behind the theft. What specific vulnerability was exploited? Was it purely financial gain, or did a deeper, more personal vendetta fuel this elaborate scheme? Discovering the motive would not only reveal the perpetrator, but also illuminate potential future attacks. He directs his team to scrutinize past grievances, disgruntled employees, and competitors who might harbor resentment or envy. Moreover, he acknowledges that his own actions, both past and present, have contributed to this predicament. The cutthroat deals, the ruthless pursuit of success, the disregard for collateral damage, these choices have created a fertile ground for enemies to thrive. This isn't about self-pity. It's about acknowledging his culpability and taking responsibility for the consequences of his actions. He instructs his confidants to perform a thorough audit of his business dealings, identifying any potential legal or ethical breaches that could be leveraged against him. Turning his attention to the child's accusation, he recognizes the need to understand the context surrounding the statement. Children, while often brutally honest, can also be easily influenced or manipulated. He arranges for a discreet, non-threatening interview with the child, seeking to uncover the source of the accusation and determine whether it was based on genuine observation or external prompting. This requires a delicate touch, a genuine empathy that transcends his usual business acumen. In addition, he considers the possibility that the stolen video is merely a distraction, a smokescreen designed to conceal a larger, more insidious plot. Perhaps the real target isn't his reputation, but his assets, his influence, or even his personal safety. He broadens the scope of the investigation, exploring alternative scenarios and potential endgame strategies employed by his adversaries. Consequently, he assembles a diverse team of experts, each possessing unique skills and perspectives. This includes cybersecurity specialists, private investigators, legal counsel, and even a former intelligence operative. He empowers them to operate independently, fostering a collaborative environment where ideas can be freely exchanged and challenges can be openly addressed. The key is to leverage their collective intelligence to uncover the truth, no matter how uncomfortable or inconvenient it may be. Now, consider how this applies when you face a similar crisis. It's not merely about reacting to the immediate threat. It's about understanding the underlying dynamics, identifying the root causes, and developing a comprehensive strategy that addresses both the symptoms and the disease. It's about recognizing your own vulnerabilities, taking responsibility for your actions, and building a strong, resilient support system that can withstand the inevitable storms of life. The endeavor now necessitates a recalibration of his inner compass, focusing less on punitive measures and more on restorative justice. Vengeance, however tempting, would only perpetuate the cycle of animosity and further tarnish his already compromised image. Therefore, he resolves to approach the situation with a mindset of understanding, seeking to identify the underlying pain or unmet needs that motivated the transgression. He considers the possibility that the perpetrator, driven by desperation or a sense of injustice, perceived the theft as a justifiable act of self-preservation. Perhaps they felt marginalized, exploited, or overlooked, leading them to believe that they had no other recourse. While this doesn't excuse their actions, it does offer a valuable perspective, allowing him to approach the situation with empathy rather than condemnation. He tasks his legal team with exploring alternative resolutions, focusing on mediation and reconciliation rather than litigation and retribution. Another critical layer involves assessing the potential collateral damage to innocent parties. The scandal, if allowed to escalate, could have devastating consequences for his employees, his family, and the community that relies on his philanthropy. He acknowledges his responsibility to mitigate these potential harms, even if it means making personal sacrifices or compromising his own interests. He establishes a contingency fund to support those who may be adversely affected by the fallout, demonstrating a commitment to ethical conduct and social responsibility. Conversely, he recognizes the importance of setting clear boundaries and holding the perpetrator accountable for their actions. While forgiveness is essential, it should not come at the expense of justice or the erosion of ethical standards. He works with his legal team to develop a framework for accountability that is both fair and proportionate, ensuring that the consequences of the theft serve as a deterrent to future misconduct. This requires a delicate balancing act, navigating the complexities of human relationships while upholding the principles of integrity and fairness. Shifting his attention to the stolen video's content, he contemplates the message it conveys and the impact it could have on public perception. He recognizes that the truth, however damaging, must be confronted head-on. He initiates a proactive communication strategy, preparing to address the allegations transparently and honestly, acknowledging his mistakes and outlining the steps he has taken to rectify them. This requires courage and vulnerability, but it's essential for rebuilding trust and restoring his credibility. Turning his attention outward, he examines the broader societal context in which the theft occurred. He acknowledges that the culture of greed, ambition, and unchecked power that pervades the business world has contributed to a climate of distrust and resentment. He resolves to use his influence to promote ethical leadership, corporate social responsibility, and a more equitable distribution of wealth. This isn't just about repairing his own image. It's about contributing to a more just and sustainable future. Now, consider how this applies when you face betrayal or injustice in your own life. It's not about suppressing your anger or denying your pain. It's about channeling those emotions into constructive action, seeking to understand the root causes of the conflict, and working towards a resolution that is both fair and restorative. It's about recognizing your own capacity for growth and transformation, and using your experiences to create a more positive impact on the world around you. The evolving situation now necessitates a strategic realignment of resources, shifting from damage control to proactive influence. It's no longer enough to merely defend against the accusations. He must actively shape the narrative, guiding public perception toward a more nuanced understanding of the events. This demands a delicate dance, balancing transparency with discretion, authenticity with strategic messaging. A key component involves engaging with the media in a controlled and calculated manner. Rather than issuing blanket denials or resorting to aggressive legal tactics, he opts for a series of carefully crafted interviews with respected journalists known for their integrity and objectivity. He understands that these conversations are not merely opportunities to present his side of the story. They are platforms for demonstrating empathy, accountability, and a genuine commitment to ethical conduct. He prepares thoroughly, anticipating tough questions and crafting thoughtful, honest responses that address the core concerns without revealing sensitive information or compromising ongoing investigations. Complementing this media strategy, he commissions an independent audit of his company's ethical policies and practices. This isn't simply a public relations stunt. It's a genuine effort to identify areas for improvement and implement lasting changes that will prevent similar incidents from occurring in the future. He selects a reputable firm with a proven track record of ethical consulting, granting them full access to his company's records and personnel. The results of the audit, while potentially uncomfortable, will be made public, demonstrating a commitment to transparency and accountability. In parallel, he initiates a series of community outreach programs designed to address the underlying social issues that may have contributed to the situation. This involves partnering with local organizations to support initiatives focused on education, poverty reduction, and social justice. He understands that these efforts are not a substitute for addressing the specific allegations against him, but they are a demonstration of his commitment to using his resources to make a positive impact on the world. This outreach provides tangible proof of his dedication to the greater good. Moving in a different direction, he explores the possibility that the stolen video was not solely motivated by personal gain or revenge, but was part of a larger campaign to undermine his industry or advance a particular political agenda. He engages with experts in political risk analysis and corporate intelligence to assess the potential for external interference and identify any hidden agendas that may be at play. This requires a broad perspective, considering the geopolitical landscape and the various stakeholders who may have an interest in his downfall. As a final consideration, he must confront the emotional toll that this ordeal is taking on his family and loved ones. The constant scrutiny, the public shaming, and the uncertainty about the future can be incredibly damaging, particularly for children. He prioritizes their well-being, seeking professional guidance to help them cope with the stress and navigate the challenges of living in the public eye. This involves creating a safe and supportive environment where they can express their feelings, ask questions, and maintain a sense of normalcy amidst the chaos. Now consider how this translates when you are faced with public scrutiny or personal attacks. It's not about retreating into isolation or becoming defensive. It's about engaging with the situation strategically, shaping the narrative and demonstrating your commitment to ethical conduct and social responsibility. It's about protecting those you love and prioritizing their well-being, even when you are under immense pressure. The present exigency dictates a fundamental shift in focus, moving from outward-facing image rehabilitation to inward-directed personal reformation. He must now undertake a profound self-examination, scrutinizing the values and beliefs that have underpinned his actions and contributed to the current predicament. This necessitates a confrontation with his shadow self, acknowledging the darker aspects of his personality that have been suppressed or ignored. A critical element entails cultivating genuine empathy, not as a strategic tool for manipulating public opinion, but as a heartfelt connection to the suffering of others. He initiates a series of anonymous visits to individuals and communities who have been negatively impacted by his business practices, listening to their stories and witnessing firsthand the consequences of his decisions. These encounters serve as a powerful catalyst for personal transformation, fostering a deeper understanding of the human cost of unchecked ambition. On a slightly different tack, he should consider the potential for leveraging his platform to advocate for systemic change. Rather than simply addressing the symptoms of the problem, he can use his influence to promote policies and practices that address the root causes of inequality and injustice. This involves collaborating with advocacy groups, policymakers, and other stakeholders to create a more equitable and sustainable economic system. Such an effort requires vision, courage, and a willingness to challenge the status quo. Furthermore, he must cultivate a greater sense of humility, recognizing that his success is not solely attributable to his own talent and hard work, but also to luck, privilege, and the contributions of others. He starts practicing gratitude, acknowledging the blessings in his life, and expressing appreciation for the people who have supported him along the way. This fosters a sense of perspective, reducing the temptation to arrogance and self-importance. In addition, he might explore spiritual practices that promote inner peace and self-awareness. He begins meditating regularly, seeking to quiet the noise of his mind and connect with a deeper sense of purpose. He also engages in acts of selfless service, volunteering his time and resources to help those in need. These practices cultivate a sense of interconnectedness, reminding him that he is part of something larger than himself. On a more personal level, he should focus on strengthening his relationships with his family and friends. He makes a conscious effort to be more present and engaged in their lives, listening to their concerns and offering his support. He also seeks forgiveness for his past mistakes, acknowledging the pain he has caused and expressing his remorse. This fosters a sense of healing and reconciliation, rebuilding trust and strengthening the bonds of love. Now reflect on how this applies when you face a personal crisis or ethical dilemma. It's not merely about finding a quick fix or managing your public image. It's about using the experience as an opportunity for profound personal growth and transformation. It's about confronting your shadow self, cultivating empathy, and using your influence to create positive change in the world. It's about fostering humility, practicing gratitude, and strengthening your relationships with those you love. The pivotal juncture demands a recalibration of his influence, transitioning from self-preservation to championing ethical innovation within his industry. It's insufficient to merely atone for past transgressions. He must actively pioneer a future where such ethical lapses become anathema. This entails a seismic shift in corporate culture, incentivizing integrity over mere profit maximization. To that end, he establishes a think tank dedicated to fostering transparent practices and developing cutting-edge technologies that promote accountability. Unlike traditional corporate social responsibility initiatives, this venture isn't about window dressing. It's about fundamentally reshaping the industry's DNA. The think tank will actively solicit input from whistleblowers, ethicists, and community stakeholders, ensuring that its initiatives reflect a diverse range of perspectives. Imagine a scenario where algorithms flag potential conflicts of interest before they escalate, or where blockchain technology ensures the immutable tracking of data, preventing manipulation and fraud. Simultaneously, he leverages his extensive network to create a mentorship program for young entrepreneurs, focusing on instilling ethical leadership principles from the outset. This isn't about preaching from a pedestal. It's about sharing hard-earned lessons and fostering a community of like-minded individuals committed to doing business the right way. Consider the power of a seasoned executive guiding a fledgling startup through a complex ethical dilemma, offering practical advice and moral support. Building upon this, he commissions a series of documentaries that explore the ethical challenges facing his industry, showcasing both the pitfalls and the potential for positive change. These films aren't intended to be propaganda. They're intended to spark honest conversations and inspire critical thinking. Picture a film crew embedded within a company grappling with a difficult decision, capturing the internal debates and the ultimate consequences of their actions. As a further measure, he champions legislation that promotes greater transparency and accountability within his industry. This isn't about seeking preferential treatment or protecting his own interests. It's about creating a level playing field where ethical companies can thrive. He uses his influence to lobby for stricter regulations and tougher penalties for those who violate the public trust. He envisions a world where businesses are held accountable for their actions, where ethical behavior is not just a matter of choice, but a legal imperative. Stepping away from corporate matters, he establishes a foundation dedicated to supporting victims of corporate malfeasance. This isn't about buying forgiveness. It's about providing tangible assistance to those who have been harmed by unethical business practices. The foundation offers financial aid, legal support, and counseling services to individuals and families struggling to cope with the consequences of corporate greed. He wants to ensure that those who have been wronged have access to the resources they need to rebuild their lives. Now, consider how this translates when you encounter ethical dilemmas in your own professional life. It's not merely about avoiding wrongdoing. It's about actively championing ethical practices and creating a culture of integrity within your workplace. It's about mentoring others, advocating for systemic change, and supporting those who have been harmed by unethical behavior. It's about becoming a force for good in the world, using your influence to create a more just and equitable society. The unfolding narrative now compels a transition from industry-wide reformation to cultivating a legacy defined by authentic vulnerability and enduring compassion. It's no longer sufficient to simply reshape corporate structures or influence public policy. He must actively dismantle the protective barriers he's erected around his own heart and allow himself to be seen, flaws and all. This necessitates embracing a profound sense of humility, acknowledging the inherent imperfection of the human condition, and accepting the inevitability of making mistakes. With that in mind, he dedicates himself to amplifying the voices of those who have been silenced or marginalized, creating platforms for their stories to be heard and their perspectives to be valued. This isn't about tokenism or virtue signaling. It's about genuinely empowering individuals to reclaim their agency and shape their own narratives. Imagine a series of town hall meetings held in underserved communities where residents can directly address corporate leaders and demand accountability for past injustices. Correspondingly, he establishes an endowment to support investigative journalism, ensuring that the truth is brought to light, regardless of who it may implicate. This isn't about controlling the narrative. It's about fostering a culture of transparency and accountability. He provides resources for independent journalists to pursue in-depth investigations into corporate wrongdoing, empowering them to uncover hidden truths and hold powerful institutions accountable. Envision a scenario where a small team of investigative reporters uncovers a decades-long cover-up, bringing justice to victims who have been long forgotten. In a departure from conventional philanthropy, he starts funding grassroots movements that are challenging the status quo and advocating for systemic change. This isn't about imposing his own agenda. It's about supporting the efforts of those who are closest to the problems and best equipped to solve them. He provides resources for community organizers to mobilize their neighbors, advocate for policy changes, and build power from the ground up. Think of a coalition of activists successfully lobbying for living wages, affordable housing, and environmental protection in their communities. Shifting the focus inwards, he begins practicing radical self-acceptance, embracing his imperfections and learning to forgive himself for his past mistakes. This isn't about excusing his behavior. It's about releasing the burden of self-condemnation and freeing himself to move forward with greater clarity and purpose. He engages in therapy, mindfulness practices, and other forms of self-care, cultivating a deeper sense of inner peace and resilience. Picture him meditating on a mountaintop, surrounded by nature, letting go of the anger, fear, and regret that have been weighing him down. On a more intimate level, he recommits himself to nurturing authentic connections with his loved ones, prioritizing quality time and open communication. This isn't about performing a role. It's about being present, vulnerable, and genuinely engaged in their lives. He makes a conscious effort to listen more than he speaks, to offer support without judgment, and to express his love and appreciation openly. He envisions a future where his relationships are characterized by trust, intimacy, and unconditional acceptance. Now, reflect on how this applies when you reach a point of profound self-reflection in your own life. It's not merely about achieving external success or accumulating material wealth. It's about cultivating inner peace, fostering authentic connections, and leaving a legacy of compassion and vulnerability. It's about embracing your imperfections, forgiving yourself for your mistakes, and using your experiences to inspire others to live more meaningful lives. It's about becoming a beacon of hope in a world that often feels dark and uncertain. The present exigency mandates a transformative leap beyond superficial amends, venturing into the uncharted terrain of intergenerational healing. It's insufficient to merely rectify the wrongs of the past or reshape the present. He must actively dismantle the legacy of trauma that has permeated his family lineage, potentially fueling his own destructive tendencies. This necessitates acknowledging the unspoken wounds, the inherited anxieties, and the unresolved conflicts that have been passed down through generations, shaping his perceptions and influencing his behavior. With that in mind, he initiates a genealogical exploration, delving into the ancestral narratives to unearth the hidden stories of resilience, survival, and loss. This isn't about romanticizing the past. It's about confronting the uncomfortable truths, acknowledging the sacrifices that were made, and understanding the context in which his ancestors lived. He discovers tales of economic hardship, social injustice, and familial discord, gaining insight into the origins of his own fears and insecurities. Consider the impact of learning that his great-grandfather was a victim of predatory lending practices, a revelation that sheds light on his own relentless pursuit of financial security. By the same token, he commissions a comprehensive psychological evaluation of his family dynamics, seeking to identify recurring patterns of behavior and communication that have contributed to dysfunction. This isn't about assigning blame. It's about gaining a deeper understanding of the interplay between individual psychology and systemic forces. He uncovers a history of emotional detachment, suppressed emotions, and unresolved grief, recognizing how these patterns have been perpetuated across generations. Imagine the realization that his father's stoicism was a coping mechanism for dealing with childhood trauma, a revelation that allows him to view his father with greater empathy and compassion. In a different vein, he establishes a scholarship fund for descendants of marginalized communities who have been historically excluded from opportunities for advancement. This isn't about tokenism or guilt-driven philanthropy. It's about redressing systemic inequities and creating pathways for future generations to thrive. He focuses on supporting students from underrepresented backgrounds who are pursuing careers in fields that promote social justice and economic equality. Visualize a young woman from a low-income neighborhood becoming the first in her family to attend law school, empowered to advocate for the rights of her community. As a parallel effort, he begins practicing restorative parenting, prioritizing empathy, communication, and collaboration in his interactions with his children. This isn't about being permissive or avoiding conflict. It's about creating a safe and supportive environment where his children can express their feelings, learn from their mistakes, and develop a strong sense of self-worth. He listens to their concerns, validates their emotions, and collaborates with them to find solutions that meet their needs. He envisions a future where his children are confident, compassionate, and resilient, equipped to navigate the challenges of life with grace and integrity. Turning inward, he commits to dismantling the internalized narratives of scarcity and competition that have driven his ambition. This isn't about abandoning his goals. It's about redefining success in terms of purpose, connection, and contribution. He cultivates a mindset of abundance, recognizing that there is enough for everyone to thrive, and that collaboration is more powerful than competition. Picture him mentoring a young entrepreneur, sharing his knowledge and resources without any expectation of personal gain. Now, consider how this translates when you contemplate your own family history and the legacy you wish to leave behind. It's not merely about achieving personal success or accumulating wealth. It's about healing the wounds of the past, fostering intergenerational resilience, and creating a more equitable future for all. It's about dismantling internalized narratives of scarcity, practicing restorative parenting, and empowering future generations to thrive. It's about becoming a catalyst for positive change, not just in your own life, but in the lives of those who come after you. The unfolding situation demands a pivotal shift from rectifying ancestral burdens to actively cultivating a personal narrative anchored in unyielding authenticity. It is no longer adequate to simply excavate family lore or atone for inherited misdeeds. Rather, he must boldly construct a life that resonates with his core values, irrespective of societal expectations or the lingering specter of his past. This necessitates embracing radical self-reliance, trusting his inner compass, and forging a path that is uniquely his own. Toward that end, he dedicates himself to mastering a craft entirely divorced from his corporate empire, something that ignites his passion and allows him to express his creativity without the constraints of financial gain. This could involve learning to sculpt intricate works of art from reclaimed materials, composing soulful melodies on a forgotten instrument, or even cultivating a thriving organic garden that nourishes both his body and his spirit. The key is to engage in an activity that is intrinsically rewarding, fostering a sense of flow and allowing him to connect with his authentic self. Picture the solace he finds in transforming discarded metal into stunning sculptures, a tangible metaphor for his own journey of redemption. In much the same way, he launches an initiative to promote mindful consumption, encouraging individuals to prioritize experiences over material possessions and to make purchasing decisions that align with their values. This is not about advocating for asceticism or shaming those who enjoy the fruits of their labor. It's about fostering a conscious awareness of the environmental and social impact of consumerism. He invests in sustainable businesses, supports local artisans, and promotes educational campaigns that encourage responsible purchasing habits. Consider the influence he wields by divesting from companies with questionable environmental records and investing in renewable energy projects. Similarly, he establishes a sanctuary for rescued animals, providing a safe and loving home for creatures that have been abandoned, abused, or neglected. This is not about sentimentality or escapism. It's about extending compassion to all living beings and recognizing the interconnectedness of all life. He creates a haven where animals can heal from their trauma, connect with others, and live out their days in peace and dignity. Visualize the therapeutic effect of caring for a neglected horse, mirroring his own journey of healing and restoration. To further enhance his personal development, he starts practicing nonviolent communication, learning to express his needs and feelings with clarity, empathy, and respect. This is not about suppressing his anger or avoiding conflict. It's about developing the skills to navigate difficult conversations with grace and understanding. He attends workshops, reads books, and practices with a trained facilitator, learning to listen actively, express his feelings without blame, and make requests without demands. He now understands that this is essential to authentic connection. On a more spiritual level, he commits to cultivating a daily practice of gratitude, recognizing the blessings in his life and expressing appreciation for the people who have supported him along the way. This is not about blind optimism or ignoring the challenges he faces. It's about cultivating a positive mindset and appreciating the simple joys of life. He keeps a gratitude journal, writes thank you notes, and expresses his appreciation to those around him. He envisions a future where his life is characterized by joy, gratitude, and a deep sense of purpose. Now think about how this translates when you aspire to live a life of unwavering authenticity. It's not merely about achieving external validation or conforming to societal norms. It's about honoring your inner truth, pursuing your passions, and leaving a legacy of compassion and purpose. It's about practicing mindful consumption, extending compassion to all living beings, and cultivating authentic connections with those around you. It's about becoming a beacon of light, inspiring others to embrace their unique gifts and live their lives to the fullest. The turning point necessitates a profound shift from merely crafting an individual narrative to actively weaving himself into the very fabric of communal well-being. It is no longer sufficient to simply live an authentic life. Rather, he must leverage his experiences, his resources, and his influence to uplift those around him, fostering a ripple effect of positive change that extends far beyond his immediate sphere. This demands embracing radical interdependence, recognizing that true fulfillment lies not in isolated achievement, but in synergistic collaboration. As such, he dedicates himself to revitalizing neglected public spaces, transforming blighted urban landscapes into vibrant hubs of community interaction. This is not about gentrification or imposing his vision on others. It's about empowering residents to shape their own environments and create spaces that reflect their unique needs and aspirations. He partners with local artists, architects, and community organizers to design parks, gardens, and public squares that are accessible to all, fostering a sense of belonging and promoting social cohesion. Picture the transformation of a derelict lot into a thriving community garden, complete with a playground, a performance stage, and a farmer's market. Likewise, he launches a program to support local artists and creatives, providing them with the resources and opportunities they need to thrive. This is not about patronage or imposing his tastes on others. It's about fostering a vibrant cultural ecosystem that enriches the lives of all. He establishes art studios, performance venues, and co-working spaces, providing artists with affordable access to the tools and resources they need to create and share their work. Consider the impact of a local theater company staging a play that reflects the lived experiences of the community, sparking conversations and fostering empathy. Considering a more profound shift, he establishes a fund to support innovative solutions to address pressing social challenges, empowering local communities to develop and implement their own strategies for change. This is not about top-down solutions or imposing his agenda on others. It's about trusting the wisdom and ingenuity of those who are closest to the problems. He provides seed funding, mentorship, and technical assistance to grassroots organizations that are working to address issues such as poverty, homelessness, and environmental degradation. Envision a neighborhood association developing a community land trusts to ensure affordable housing for future generations. To further foster community spirit, he starts practicing active listening, making a conscious effort to hear and understand the perspectives of those around him, even when they differ from his own. This is not about agreeing with everyone or compromising his values. It's about creating a space for respectful dialogue and fostering a sense of shared humanity. He attends community meetings, volunteers at local organizations, and engages in conversations with people from diverse backgrounds, seeking to understand their experiences and perspectives. He finds that building shared understanding is key to harmonious living. Taking stock of his personal journey, he commits to mentoring young people from disadvantaged backgrounds, sharing his experiences and offering guidance to those who are navigating challenges similar to those he has faced. This is not about self-aggrandizement or imposing his path on others. It's about providing support, encouragement, and a sense of hope to those who may feel lost or discouraged. He shares his story of redemption, demonstrating that it is possible to overcome adversity and achieve success with integrity and compassion. Now reflect on how this translates when you aspire to live a life of genuine significance. It's not merely about achieving personal fulfillment or leaving a lasting legacy. It's about actively contributing to the well-being of your community, empowering others to thrive, and fostering a world where everyone has the opportunity to reach their full potential. It's about practicing active listening, supporting local initiatives, and mentoring young people. It's about becoming a catalyst for positive change, not just in your own life, but in the lives of countless others. The present imperative necessitates a leap from communal integration to fostering a legacy of enduring inspiration, one that transcends his personal narrative and empowers others to embrace their own potential for transformation. It's insufficient to merely contribute to the well-being of his immediate community. Rather, he must cultivate a global movement predicated on the principles of empathy, innovation, and unwavering dedication to the betterment of humankind. This demands embracing audacious leadership, venturing beyond the confines of conventional philanthropy, and catalyzing systemic change on a planetary scale. In that vein, he endows a global fellowship program, providing aspiring social entrepreneurs from around the world with the funding, mentorship, and resources they need to launch and scale their ventures. This isn't about imposing Western ideals or replicating existing models. It's about empowering local leaders to develop culturally appropriate solutions to the challenges facing their communities. He prioritizes projects that address issues such as climate change, food security, and access to education, fostering a network of innovators who are working to create a more just and sustainable world. Picture a young woman from rural Kenya developing a solar-powered irrigation system that enables her community to grow crops year-round, increasing food security and reducing reliance on fossil fuels. Furthermore, he establishes a global network of innovation hubs, providing aspiring entrepreneurs with access to cutting-edge technologies, mentorship, and funding. This isn't about creating replicas of Silicon Valley. It's about fostering a diverse ecosystem of innovation that reflects the unique needs and aspirations of different regions. He partners with local universities, research institutions, and venture capital firms to create spaces where entrepreneurs can collaborate, experiment, and bring their ideas to life. Envision a collective in Mumbai developing an AI-powered diagnostic tool that can detect diseases early, improving healthcare outcomes for millions of people. He sponsors a series of international conferences, bringing together thought leaders, policymakers, and activists from around the world to discuss pressing global challenges and develop collaborative solutions. This is not about grandstanding or seeking personal recognition. It's about fostering meaningful dialogue and building bridges across cultures and perspectives. He creates a space where participants can share their knowledge, exchange ideas, and forge partnerships that can lead to concrete action. Imagine a gathering of climate scientists, indigenous leaders, and government officials developing a comprehensive plan to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and protect vulnerable ecosystems. To that end, he starts practicing global citizenship, making a conscious effort to understand and appreciate the diverse cultures and perspectives of people from around the world. This is not about superficial tourism or cultural appropriation. It's about cultivating a deep sense of empathy and solidarity with all of humanity. He travels extensively, immersing himself in different cultures, learning new languages, and engaging in conversations with people from all walks of life. He comes to see the world as a single interconnected community, bound together by shared challenges and a common destiny. With a focus on the next generation, he commits to mentoring young leaders from around the world, sharing his experiences and offering guidance to those who are poised to shape the future. This is not about imposing his vision or replicating his success. It's about empowering young people to develop their own leadership skills and create a better world. He shares his story of transformation, demonstrating that it is possible to overcome adversity, embrace diversity, and lead with integrity and compassion. Now consider how this translates when you aspire to leave a legacy of enduring inspiration. It's not merely about achieving personal fulfillment or contributing to your immediate community. It's about embracing global citizenship, supporting innovative solutions to pressing challenges, and empowering future generations to create a more just and sustainable world. It's about becoming a catalyst for positive change, not just in your own life, but in the lives of countless others around the globe. The culmination of his journey now demands a visionary departure, transitioning from global empowerment to fostering a sustained celestial legacy that echoes throughout the cosmos. It is no longer sufficient to merely ignite terrestrial transformations. Rather, he must seed enduring inspiration across the vast expanse of existence, ensuring the propagation of empathy and innovation far beyond the confines of human comprehension. This necessitates embracing transcendental altruism, venturing beyond the perceived limitations of mortality, and cultivating a symbiosis with the very essence of creation. As a starting point, he establishes a perpetual trust, endowing it with resources sufficient to fund interstellar exploration and the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. This isn't about colonizing new worlds or exploiting alien civilizations. It's about expanding the boundaries of human knowledge and fostering a deeper understanding of our place in the universe. He prioritizes projects that promote peaceful contact, cultural exchange, and the sharing of knowledge with any sentient beings we may encounter. Imagine a future where humanity has established diplomatic relations with an alien civilization, exchanging artistic creations and scientific discoveries that enrich both cultures. Expanding on this, he commissions the construction of a monumental archive, encapsulating the totality of human knowledge and experience, to be launched into deep space as a testament to our civilization's aspirations and achievements. This isn't about vanity or self-aggrandizement. It's about preserving our collective heritage for future generations, both human and extraterrestrial. The archive contains not only scientific data and historical records, but also works of art, literature, and music that reflect the full spectrum of human emotions and experiences. He envisions a future where this archive is discovered by an alien civilization, providing them with a glimpse into the beauty, complexity, and potential of humanity. Furthermore, he sponsors the development of advanced technologies for terraforming barren planets, transforming them into habitable environments where life can flourish. This isn't about escaping the challenges facing Earth. It's about expanding the possibilities for life in the universe and creating new opportunities for growth and evolution. He prioritizes projects that are environmentally sustainable, ethically responsible, and designed to benefit all living beings. Think of a future where humanity has successfully terraformed Mars, creating a new home for life and a testament to our ingenuity and resilience. In a slightly different direction, he dedicates himself to promoting interstellar diplomacy, fostering communication and collaboration among nations on Earth, to prepare for the possibility of contact with extraterrestrial civilizations. This is not about creating a unified world government or imposing a single ideology. It's about building trust, fostering understanding, and developing protocols for peaceful interaction. He facilitates dialogues between world leaders, scientists, and ethicists, exploring the potential challenges and opportunities that may arise from contact with alien civilizations. Finally, he commits to cultivating a personal practice of cosmic consciousness, expanding his awareness beyond the limitations of his individual ego and connecting with the vastness of the universe. This is not about escapism or denying the realities of human suffering. It's about cultivating a deeper sense of interconnectedness and recognizing our place in the grand scheme of things. He engages in meditation, contemplation, and communion with nature, seeking to transcend the limitations of his individual perspective and connect with the universal consciousness. Now consider how this translates when you aspire to leave a legacy that transcends the boundaries of time and space. It's not merely about achieving personal fulfillment or contributing to your immediate community. It's about embracing cosmic consciousness, supporting interstellar exploration, and fostering a future where humanity can thrive among the stars. It's about becoming a steward of the universe, a guardian of life, and an ambassador for peace and understanding throughout the cosmos. Now consider how this applies when you grapple with a moment of profound moral reckoning. It transcends merely righting personal wrongs or reforming a tainted industry. It requires nurturing a legacy of transcendent purpose, one that resonates with cosmic harmonies and transcends the ephemeral bounds of earthly existence. It's about embracing boundless compassion, fostering a symphony of shared consciousness, and ensuring the perpetuity of innovation across the unfathomable expanse of both time and space. To that end, he establishes a sanctuary for celestial cartographers, funding their pursuit to map the uncharted territories of the cosmos. This isn't about staking claims to cosmic real estate or plundering planetary resources. It's about chronicling the splendor of creation, charting the nebulae's ethereal dance, and documenting the starlight's ancient tales. He envisions a repository of celestial artistry, a digital tapestry woven from stardust and cosmic radiation, available to all sentient life forms that may stumble upon our corner of the galaxy. Picture the exhilaration of discovering a nascent galaxy, a swirling kaleidoscope of cosmic birth, captured for eternity in the celestial archive. Coupled with that, he backs the construction of a trans-dimensional observatory, granting astronomers access to the tools needed to peer into the hidden realms of existence. This endeavor isn't about chasing supernatural phantasms or conjuring spectral apparitions. It's about probing the fabric of reality, deciphering the enigmas of dark matter, and unraveling the mysteries of quantum entanglement. He foresees a future where scientists can traverse the boundaries of conventional understanding, unlocking the secrets of parallel universes and bending the laws of physics to propel humankind into a new era of scientific enlightenment. Envision the elation of witnessing a wormhole's formation, a celestial portal ushering travelers into uncharted dimensions beyond human comprehension. Moreover, he underwrites a university dedicated to the study of exolinguistics, empowering linguists to decipher the potential languages of extraterrestrial civilizations. This initiative isn't about forcing our linguistic structures onto alien modes of communication or attempting to dominate interstellar discourse. It's about cultivating a universal lexicon, a symphony of symbols and sounds that transcends cultural barriers and fosters genuine interspecies understanding. He imagines a future where humans and extraterrestrials can engage in meaningful dialogue, exchanging ideas, sharing stories, and forging bonds of mutual respect and admiration. Picture the profound impact of deciphering an alien sonnet, a poignant expression of love and longing echoing across the vastness of space. To expand on this, he champions the creation of a global network of meditative retreats, providing individuals with the opportunity to connect with their inner selves and cultivate a heightened awareness of their place in the cosmos. This endeavor isn't about promoting a singular religious dogma or imposing a uniform system of belief. It's about fostering spiritual exploration, encouraging inner reflection, and cultivating a deep sense of interconnectedness with all of creation. He envisions a future where individuals can transcend the limitations of their egoic minds, experiencing moments of profound insight, bliss, and cosmic unity. Imagine the transformative effect of a meditation session conducted under the aurora borealis, a celestial symphony harmonizing with the depths of the human soul. Finally, he commits to mentoring visionary artists, enabling them to craft awe-inspiring works that capture the grandeur of the universe and inspire a sense of wonder in all who behold them. This initiative isn't about creating mere aesthetic diversions or pandering to popular taste. It's about fostering a cultural renaissance, encouraging artists to push the boundaries of imagination, and creating works that resonate with the deepest longings of the human spirit. He foresees a future where art transcends the confines of earthly galleries, becoming a universal language that speaks to the hearts and minds of all sentient beings. Picture the impact of a holographic sculpture projected onto the surface of a distant planet, a breathtaking testament to the boundless creativity of the human spirit. Given this juncture, the narrative arc now necessitates an innovative departure, one that transports him from earthly altruism to the realm of metaphysical philanthropy. It's no longer sufficient simply to fund interstellar exploration or to archive human knowledge for posterity. Instead, he must endeavor to seed the very fabric of spacetime with conscious intent, fostering the evolution of sentience across the multiverse. This demands embracing panexperientialism, venturing beyond the confines of anthropocentric understanding, and cultivating a profound reverence for the intrinsic subjectivity of all existence. As such, he establishes an academy dedicated to the study of cymatics, exploring the transformative power of sound and vibration to shape matter and influence consciousness. This isn't about dabbling in pseudoscience or promoting New Age mysticism. It's about harnessing the fundamental principles of physics to create harmonious resonant fields that promote healing, creativity, and spiritual awakening. He envisions a future where cymatic technology is used to create sacred spaces, to harmonize discordant environments, and to facilitate communication with non-human intelligences. Think of the possibility of using sound waves to heal damaged ecosystems, restoring balance and promoting biodiversity. Coupled with this, he supports the creation of a planetary network of biofeedback sensors, designed to monitor the collective emotional state of humanity and to identify potential sources of conflict or unrest. This initiative isn't about creating a surveillance state or manipulating public opinion. It's about fostering a global awareness of our interconnectedness and promoting collective emotional intelligence. He envisions a future where policymakers can use real-time data to anticipate and prevent crises, fostering a more peaceful and harmonious world. Picture the potential of detecting a surge in collective anxiety, allowing leaders to address the underlying causes before they escalate into violence. In a related vein, he underwrites the development of advanced technologies for dream incubation, empowering individuals to consciously shape their dreams and to tap into the vast reservoir of creative potential within their subconscious minds. This endeavor isn't about escapism or indulging in fantastical illusions. It's about harnessing the power of dreams to solve problems, to heal emotional wounds, and to access higher states of consciousness. He envisions a future where individuals can use their dreams to connect with their inner wisdom, to explore alternate realities, and to co-create a more beautiful world. Think of the possibility of using dream incubation to find innovative solutions. To climate change, tapping into the collective unconscious for creative insights. To further expand the reach of his philanthropic endeavors, he champions the creation of a global network of holographic projectors, capable of transmitting images, sounds, and even tactile sensations across vast distances, fostering a sense of shared presence and connection among people from all walks of life. This isn't about creating a virtual reality that replaces the real world. It's about enhancing our ability to communicate, to collaborate, and to empathize with one another, regardless of physical distance. He envisions a future where holographic technology is used to create immersive educational experiences, to facilitate cross-cultural dialogues, and to provide remote medical care to underserved communities. Turning toward the spiritual realm, he commits to funding the translation and preservation of ancient wisdom traditions, ensuring that the timeless teachings of the world's great spiritual masters are accessible to future generations. This initiative isn't about promoting a particular religious dogma or imposing a uniform system of belief. It's about fostering a deeper understanding of the human condition and promoting universal values such as love, compassion, and wisdom. He envisions a future where individuals can draw upon the wisdom of the past to navigate the challenges of the present and to create a more enlightened future now. Consider how this translates when you aspire to leave a legacy that resonates beyond the confines of earthly existence. It's not merely about achieving personal fulfillment or contributing to your immediate community. It's about embracing panexperientialism, fostering the evolution of sentience, and seeding the universe with conscious intent. It's about harnessing the power of sound, promoting collective emotional intelligence, and cultivating a deep reverence for all of existence. It's about becoming a conduit for cosmic creativity, a beacon of light that illuminates the path toward a more beautiful and harmonious multiverse. Now reflect on how this translates when you strive to etch an enduring imprint upon the tapestry of existence. It transcends merely establishing philanthropic endeavors or championing grand cosmic schemes. It demands embracing the role of a conscious co-creator, actively participating in the ongoing evolution of the universe itself. It's about recognizing that our individual consciousness is not separate from, but rather an integral facet of, the universal mind, and that our thoughts, intentions, and actions have the power to shape reality on a profound level. Considering this, he dedicates himself to mastering the art of subtle activism, working to influence the morphogenetic fields that underpin the structure of reality. This isn't about engaging in overt political demonstrations or attempting to impose his will on others. It's about radiating positive energy, cultivating inner peace, and visualizing a world filled with love, compassion, and harmony. He understands that the universe responds to our dominant vibrations, and that by aligning his consciousness with the highest ideals, he can help to shift the collective consciousness in a more positive direction. Imagine the impact of a single individual radiating unconditional love, creating a ripple effect that transforms the emotional landscape of an entire community. Moreover, he commits to funding research into the nature of consciousness itself, seeking to unravel the mysteries of subjective experience and to understand the relationship between mind and matter. This isn't about reducing consciousness to a mere byproduct of brain activity or attempting to quantify the qualitative aspects of experience. It's about exploring the full potential of human awareness and uncovering the secrets of our own being. He envisions a future where science and spirituality are integrated, where the wisdom of the ancients is combined with the rigor of modern inquiry to create a more holistic understanding of the universe. Picture the breakthrough that occurs when scientists discover the quantum basis of consciousness, revolutionizing our understanding of reality and our place within it. Furthermore, he underwrites the development of technologies that facilitate interspecies communication, enabling humans to connect with animals, plants, and other forms of life in a more meaningful way. This isn't about anthropomorphizing other species or imposing our values on them. It's about recognizing their inherent intelligence and respecting their unique perspectives. He envisions a future where humans can communicate with dolphins, whales, and other sentient beings, learning from their wisdom and fostering a more harmonious relationship with the natural world. Think of the possibilities that open up when we can understand the language of trees, gaining insights into the intricate workings of ecosystems and developing more sustainable ways of living. To amplify the impact of his efforts, he establishes a global network of lightworkers, individuals who are dedicated to radiating love, compassion, and healing energy into the world. This isn't about creating a cult or promoting a particular ideology. It's about fostering a sense of community and empowering individuals to become agents of positive change. He provides training, resources, and support to lightworkers around the world, helping them to amplify their impact and to connect with others who share their vision. Imagine the transformative power of 1 million people meditating together for world peace, creating a wave of positive energy that sweeps across the planet. Finally, he commits to cultivating a personal practice of selfless service, dedicating his life to helping others and working to alleviate suffering in the world. This isn't about seeking personal recognition or accumulating karmic merit. It's about embodying the principles of compassion, empathy, and loving kindness in every aspect of his life. He volunteers his time, donates his resources, and uses his influence to advocate for those who are marginalized or oppressed. He envisions a future where all beings are treated with dignity and respect, and where the world is filled with love, joy, and harmony. Now, envision transmuting this cosmic blueprint into actionable directives for our own lives. It's not simply about aspiring to interstellar journeys or decoding alien tongues. It's about recognizing that each individual, regardless of their station, holds the capacity to sculpt the very contours of existence. This necessitates relinquishing the illusion of insignificance and embracing the profound truth that our daily choices reverberate throughout the intricate web of creation. Therefore, he sponsors the creation of immersive art installations in unexpected locales, transforming mundane spaces into portals of wonder and contemplation. This isn't about elitist art displays and sterile galleries. It's about democratizing access to beauty, injecting enchantment into the everyday, and reminding individuals of the inherent magic that permeates all of reality. He envisions subway stations adorned with bioluminescent murals, transforming the daily commute into an underwater odyssey, and abandoned warehouses repurposed into interactive light sculptures, inviting passersby to engage in spontaneous acts of creativity. In a similar vein, he champions the development of technologies that facilitate interspecies empathy, allowing humans to experience the world from the perspective of other living beings. This isn't about appropriating animal experiences or reducing them to mere novelties. It's about cultivating a deeper understanding of their sentience, respecting their intrinsic value, and recognizing the interconnectedness of all life. He envisions virtual reality simulations that allow humans to experience the world through the eyes of a hawk soaring above the mountains, or to navigate the ocean depths as a humpback whale, fostering a profound sense of connection with the natural world. Moreover, he underwrites the creation of open-source educational platforms, providing free access to knowledge and resources for individuals around the globe, regardless of their socioeconomic background or geographic location. This isn't about imposing a standardized curriculum or promoting a particular ideology. It's about empowering individuals to become lifelong learners, to explore their passions, and to develop their unique talents. He envisions a world where anyone can access the wisdom of the ages, learn new skills, and connect with a global community of learners, fostering a more equitable and enlightened society. To amplify the reach of his transformative initiatives, He supports the creation of decentralized autonomous organizations, DAOs, dedicated to addressing pressing global challenges, empowering individuals to collaborate and make decisions collectively, without the need for centralized authority. This isn't about anarchism or undermining democratic institutions. It's about harnessing the power of collective intelligence and fostering a more participatory and equitable form of governance. He envisions DAOs that are dedicated to addressing issues such as climate change, poverty, and social justice, allowing individuals to contribute their skills, resources, and expertise to create solutions that are truly community-driven. 2. Further enhances commitment. He begins to cultivate a personal practice of compassionate communication, learning to express his thoughts and feelings with clarity, empathy, and kindness, even in the face of conflict or disagreement. This isn't about suppressing his emotions or avoiding difficult conversations. It's about developing the skills to communicate effectively, to build bridges of understanding, and to foster a more harmonious and collaborative environment. He practices active listening, seeking to understand the perspectives of others, and speaks from the heart, expressing his needs and feelings with authenticity and vulnerability. Now consider how this translates when you strive to leave a lasting legacy of positive change. It's not merely about achieving personal success or accumulating wealth. It's about recognizing your own potential as a conscious co-creator, embracing the power of subtle activism and weaving a tapestry of compassion, creativity, and connection into the very fabric of existence. It's about democratizing beauty, fostering interspecies empathy, and empowering individuals to become lifelong learners and agents of positive change. It's about recognizing that our individual choices have the power to ripple outward, shaping the world in ways that we can scarcely imagine. Turning toward the practical, he fosters the establishment of global crisis simulation centers, empowering policymakers and humanitarian organizations to rehearse responses to catastrophic events, from pandemics to climate-induced migrations. This venture isn't about perpetuating fear or rehearsing apocalyptic scenarios. It's about cultivating preparedness, refining logistical strategies, and building resilience within vulnerable communities before disaster strikes. He envisions these centers as dynamic learning environments, where experts from diverse fields can collaborate, innovate, and develop evidence-based solutions to safeguard humanity's future. In stark contrast to reactive crisis management, he champions the exploration of proactive planetary engineering strategies, sponsoring research into technologies that can reverse climate change, restore depleted ecosystems, and enhance the Earth's natural capacity for self-regulation. This endeavor isn't about hubristically manipulating the planet or imposing artificial solutions. It's about harnessing the power of science and technology to heal the wounds inflicted by human activity, restoring balance to the Earth's delicate ecosystems and ensuring a sustainable future for all living beings. He envisions a world where humans act as stewards of the planet, working in harmony with nature to create a thriving and resilient biosphere. Another crucial layer is the instigation of a universal basic income pilot program, providing unconditional financial support to individuals and families in underserved communities, empowering them to pursue education, entrepreneurship, and creative endeavors without the burden of economic insecurity. This initiative isn't about promoting dependency or disincentivizing work. It's about unleashing human potential, fostering economic empowerment, and creating a more equitable society where everyone has the opportunity to thrive. He envisions a future where individuals are freed from the shackles of poverty, allowing them to pursue their passions, contribute to their communities, and live lives of dignity and purpose. Conversely, he cultivates a global network of restorative justice practitioners, empowering individuals to resolve conflicts peacefully, repair relationships, and heal the wounds of trauma within their communities. This isn't about condoning criminal behavior or undermining the legal system. It's about addressing the root causes of violence, fostering empathy and accountability, and creating a more just and compassionate society. He envisions a world where conflicts are resolved through dialogue, mediation, and restorative practices, allowing individuals to heal from their wounds, repair damaged relationships, and build stronger communities. To further his commitment to global betterment, he starts practicing mindful media consumption, becoming a discerning consumer of information and actively seeking out diverse perspectives and voices, challenging his own biases and cultivating a more nuanced understanding of the world. This isn't about retreating into an echo chamber or avoiding uncomfortable truths. It's about expanding his awareness, fostering empathy, and cultivating a more informed and compassionate worldview. He seeks out independent news sources, engages in respectful dialogue with people who hold different beliefs, and challenges the narratives that perpetuate division and misunderstanding. Now consider how this applies when you are confronted with complex ethical dilemmas or pressing social challenges. It's not merely about finding a quick fix or imposing a top-down solution. It's about fostering preparedness, promoting proactive solutions, and empowering individuals to become agents of positive change within their own communities. It's about cultivating a discerning mind, embracing diverse perspectives, and striving to create a more just, equitable, and sustainable world for all. Reflecting on this journey so far, we begin to perceive a unified field emerging from what initially seemed like disparate points of light. The navigation through digital labyrinths, the confrontation with ethical quagmires, the yearning for communal harmony, all these threads intertwine to reveal a profound undercurrent, the ceaseless quest for authentic connection in an increasingly fragmented world. It's akin to observing a complex ecosystem. Each element, from the smallest microbe to the towering redwood, plays an indispensable role in the overall health and vitality of the whole. Similarly, our individual actions, however seemingly insignificant, contribute to the collective narrative, shaping the very fabric of reality. The pursuit of restorative justice, the championing of ethical innovation, the cultivation of vulnerability, these are not merely isolated strategies for damage control. They are essential facets of a holistic approach to living a life of purpose and meaning. It resembles a symphony orchestra, where each instrument, with its unique timbre and range, contributes to a harmonious whole. Likewise, our diverse talents and experiences, when channeled with intention and compassion, can create a symphony of positive change that resonates throughout the world. As we pivot towards the final reflection, consider the transformative power of embracing our shared humanity. The recognition that we are all interconnected, that our actions have consequences that ripple outward, is not a burden to be feared, but rather an invitation to cultivate a more compassionate and responsible way of being. It's like observing a flock of birds in flight. Each individual adjusts its trajectory in response to the movements of the others, creating a fluid and dynamic formation that is greater than the sum of its parts. Similarly, our collective efforts, when guided by empathy and collaboration, can create a future where all beings can thrive. Drawing these strands together, we see the contours of a new paradigm emerging, one where success is not measured by material wealth or power, but by the depth of our connections, the integrity of our actions, and the positive impact we have on the world. It is akin to witnessing the metamorphosis of a butterfly, from a humble caterpillar to a creature of exquisite beauty, capable of soaring to new heights. Likewise, through self-reflection, ethical action, and a commitment to serving others, we can undergo a profound transformation, emerging as beings of greater compassion, wisdom, and purpose. In light of these insights, the path forward becomes clearer, a path of conscious co-creation, where we embrace our power to shape reality, not through force or domination, but through love, compassion, and unwavering dedication to the well-being of all. It's as if we are all individual brushstrokes on a vast canvas, contributing to a masterpiece that is far greater than ourselves. The final strokes, the concluding colors, await, promising a revelation that will illuminate the purpose behind this intricate design. Having traversed this labyrinth of ambition, betrayal, and the yearning for redemption, we arrive not at a definitive endpoint, but a threshold. The tale, ostensibly about a millionaire's fall from grace, refracts into a universal narrative about the human condition itself, our inherent capacity for both profound creation and devastating destruction, and the agonizingly slow, yet ultimately triumphant, journey back to authentic selfhood. The stolen video, the shattered empire, the whispered accusations, these are merely the catalysts, the external pressures that force an inward reckoning. The true drama unfolds not in the digital realm or the corridors of power, but within the chambers of the heart. It is the agonizing process of dismantling the carefully constructed facade, of confronting the shadows that lurk beneath the surface, and of embracing the vulnerability that true connection demands. It is the realization that lasting legacy is not etched in monuments of wealth or influence, but in the quiet acts of compassion, the unwavering pursuit of ethical integrity, and the courageous commitment to healing the wounds that have been passed down through generations. The core message, then, is not about escaping the consequences of our actions, but about transforming them into opportunities for profound growth. It is about recognizing that every crisis, every betrayal, every moment of despair contains the seed of a new beginning. It is about understanding that true power lies not in dominating others, but in empowering them to reach their full potential. It is about embracing the interconnectedness of all things, recognizing that our individual well-being is inextricably linked to the well-being of the planet and all its inhabitants. Consider the image of a single tree standing tall against the wind, its roots reaching deep into the earth, providing nourishment and stability. It is a metaphor for the resilience of the human spirit, the capacity to weather the storms of life and to emerge stronger and more grounded. Just as the tree provides shelter and sustenance to countless creatures, so too can we offer our gifts and talents to the world, creating a haven of compassion and hope for those in need. The journey, of course, is far from over. The challenges that lie ahead may seem daunting, but they are not insurmountable. We are not alone. We are part of a vast and interconnected web of life, and we have the power to create a future where all beings can thrive. The true practice begins now, to cultivate compassion in our hearts, to act with integrity in our daily lives, and to dedicate ourselves to the well-being of all. The universe awaits our contribution.